All right. All
And
right.
what's the other lady that's on the meeting?
Linda.
Who's the other lady? Linda. Okay. Hi, Linda.
Hello there.
All right, so it is day one of reintroduction week. First, whoever would like to speak first, I would just like to hear just about your experience last week and how it went for you. Was it hard? Was it easy? How did you feel as the week went on? Who would like to share first?
Lucy, you go first. Or Linda, you go first.
All right, that's fair. So Monday, I was so proud of myself because I didn't manage to go without coffee. Monday afternoon, I was dragging. I think I texted you, Jennifer, and said, I'm so tired, I can't stay awake. And I work, fortunately. I said, I'm having a hard time staying awake. Tuesday, I felt a little bit better, but still dragging. By Wednesday, it was amazing, just the difference. Felt good, saw my quantity of food reduce. I didn't have to eat so much. I didn't get my 3 o'clock cravings that I usually do. And I was able to run and go to the gym and not worry about having caffeine before. I used to have a caffeine drink beforehand and then my coffee afterwards. So much to my surprise, I've managed to go a whole week without coffee and didn't miss it as much as I thought. And, missing some of the processed foods, I was concerned because I do eat a lot. I work in I'm out and I do eat a lot of the processed veggie burgers thinking they're healthy, but I could see that there was obviously a difference in how I felt. And much to my surprise, I have to tell a quick story. Friday night, a friend invited me to dinner. I pinged Jennifer and said, what can I do? And she said, a salad. So we ended up at Olive Garden. This friend of mine recommended it. So, because I told her all I could eat is salad. She said, well, at least we go there. You can eat all the salad you want.
Bonus.
And just lemon and just a tad of olive oil. And it wasn't so bad. It was remarkably easy toward the end of the week.
Great.
Yeah.
Did you take your toxicity quiz before you started?
I did.
Have you taken it again yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, that's okay. Just when you have time, take that again. Okay. It's good to compare those numbers. Ginger, how about you?
Well, I didn't have any withdrawals, which kind of surprised me from caffeine. I didn't have any like headaches or anything like that. I did have a really hard time sleeping, and it wasn't because I was camping, because we've camped before and I slept in that bed, and I would lay in bed and be wide awake. Not just, I did actually crash and take a nap one afternoon. I woke up and I sat with my husband. I think we took a walk or something. And I'm sitting there at the table and I'm like, I can't keep my eyes open anymore. I'm going to go lay down. I crashed like hard for an hour and a half. And that was really the best I slept. But I didn't really feel exhausted, like I thought I would from not sleeping.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I'm not eating crap all the time. I'm not putting all that in my system, I did feel that my feet didn't hurt. My knees didn't hurt. My hips didn't hurt until the end of the week when I really started walking more. My back didn't hurt. I didn't have any aches and pains. They like magically disappeared, like I told you. Then one night, I want to say Wednesday night, I made quinoa for dinner and vegetable broth. And I had some asparagus, onions, and mushrooms, and I, cut all that up and had that in there with it. And that was our meal for dinner one night. And I felt so full and bloated, actually. So I thought, well, that's weird. I shouldn't be feeling this way, but I did, And then we had the next day, I felt the same way. And of course, I hadn't even really hardly, excuse the expression, but I haven't hardly pooped. Well, the next day, that was all I did was poop. Like after the chemo, like, okay, I guess this is a thing now, So I had made enough that we got 3 meals out of it. So I ate the same thing actually again the next night for dinner because it was easy. We were camping, you want to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
And again, I felt the same way, almost to being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I felt, wonderful the entire rest of the week, but then I kind of felt like a little, not bad gassy, but I felt like I feel like I could go to the bathroom at any time, since I had started eating the quinoa. So this morning I I didn't have quinoa yesterday. What did we have yesterday? I don't remember. I had a smoothie. Oh, and I had made some guacamole, or not guacamole, guacamole. And I had some, I found at Trader Joe's these brown rice um, cakes. Is that what they call rice cakes?
Yep.
That had only brown rice in. There was nothing else in them.
Yep.
So I was like, well, that should be good. So I had like avocado toast. So I made put my guacamole on that. That's what I had for dinner. And then later on at night, I got a little bit hungry after 7, which I tried not to, but I couldn't stand it. And I had a few almonds with my tea.
Okay.
But anyway, so then I felt fine. Then this morning I got up and I had made steel cut oats. And I had a bowl of that with a banana and some coconut milk. So first I had organic coconut cream from a can because that was all I had.
Mhm.
And that was too thick and heavy for the oats,
Mhm.
And then it was just too thick and creamy. So then I had a can of coconut milk, so I poured a little of that on there, and that made it, more palatable anyway. But then again, I've been like so full, and I feel like I've been gassy and full all day. So it's like, do I have a problem with grains now?
No, your digestive system is just adjusting
Okay,
to the change in eating. Um, it's just whenever you change anything in your diet, if a person that normally eats healthy eats a lot of bad food, they're going to be bloated and gassy and not, and
gotcha.
it goes both ways. So your body's just adjusting.
Okay, because I didn't have a problem up until I ate the I keep saying couscous. It's all the same thing. The quinoa Wednesday night or Thursday night, whatever night it was.
And
I didn't
you,
have any issues until I ate the
yeah,
couscous. So.
and you have, upped your intake of fiber. So keep that in mind. Are you doing the flaxseed cocktail?
No, but I have been throwing it in my smoothies in the morning.
Okay. Yeah, so
And
you're
this
getting a
morning
lot
I
of
threw it
fiber
in
in.
my oatmeal. Yeah, this morning I threw it in my oatmeal because I didn't want to have. Yeah, that there's no need to do that to yourself if you don't have to. There's so many other ways to get your flaxseed.
Well, it's drinking it in the morning with the water on an empty stomach. I mean, it just your body absorbs it faster, so it has a much greater effect on the flushing process.
Right. I didn't realize I needed it though until after I had eaten. So,
Right. It's
I said I
fine.
had put
It's
the
fine. I
flaxseed.
mean,
I put the
you're getting
flaxseed
a
on
lot of fiber in anyway, and
Okay.
it'll all move
Okay.
through. Yeah, you're good. Don't worry about it.
And then tonight, Lisa had made soup and she wasn't feeling good. So she said, hey, she says, the soup doesn't have very much flavor, but would you like some? I said, well, since you've talked it up so much, yes. So, so I was out and about in her area. So I went and I picked it up and I said, do you need anything while I'm at the store? She said, I'll have some saltines. I said, that sounds like a really great idea. So I grabbed a box of saltines. We split a box of saltines. And she gave me the soup, and I said, "Well, can you smell it? It's got to smell good, right?" She says, "No, I can't smell it either." I said, "Lisa, you got
Oh.
COVID." And she says, "No, I have a
Oh.
stuffy nose." She says, "No, I have a stuffy nose." I'm like, "Okay." So, so I said, "I'll be the judge of that." So I went and I got the soup, brought it over here. It's hot. I don't know what spice she put in it, but it has a bit of a kick to it.
Uh-huh.
It was beans and veggies. It was really good. Um, but she said when I got there, she looked at me. She says, "This tastes like water." I'm like, okay. So I'm hoping she doesn't have COVID, but
Oh,
we've all had it. So I mean, Dan and I've had it. So I mean, it's like at least
yeah.
she has it now. She's like halfway through it, hopefully.
Yeah,
But
hopefully.
anyway, and I had like 6 saltines with that. I know that was more than I was supposed to have, but I didn't have anything this morning either. So I said, well, these really taste good. So
How did you feel after you ate the saltines?
I feel about the same. I still feel kind of bloated and a little gassy.
Okay.
Um, but that really hasn't subsided since breakfast either. So any suggestions? Flaxseed. You're gonna say flaxseed, aren't you?
Are you? No, no, no. Because you also might be getting too much fiber. Um,
Okay.
so I would cut back on the flax and just
Well,
eat.
I've only been putting a tablespoon in what I've only been eating a tablespoon a day. Like when I
Yeah.
make smoothies for my husband and I put 2 tablespoons in the smoothies.
Well,
And then,
just cut the flax out tomorrow and see what happens.
okay, okay, I can do. Yeah, I don't want to
Okay.
go to work feeling like this.
How's your water intake?
Sometimes really good, sometimes not really good. It just depends, you know.
Okay, well, that's another thing. You got to keep up with the water. You have to drink
Okay.
water all day.
Yep, yep, I do. And
Keep
I didn't have much today, and that's probably my issue today.
Yeah, to keep things moving through, you gotta keep your water up. Okay.
I do find that when I sleep though, even with less sleep, I still feel better than I did before I started the diet.
Mm.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad
I
to hear
mean,
that.
you
Now,
couldn't
you
call it a
are
diet.
also keep in mind, like we just discussed, how your body's adjusting.
Mm-hmm.
So things will be off because your body's adjusting to all these like healthy, full of vitamins and nutrients and minerals,
Right.
live living foods. So living foods, they're going to give your body more energy than you're used
I
to.
got it. Yep. Yep.
You
Makes
see, does
sense.
that make sense?
Yes.
Now, if
Would
you
that, because I've had issues with sleeping as well, would that explain Ginger's sleeping issues?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But if
I
you
figured it
if
had
you
something to
keep
do with
up,
that.
what's that?
I said I figured it had to be something like that, but I
Yeah.
can remember back in the day, like I had gone to the doctor and I said, "Look, I don't. This has been like back, geez, when I was 26. So we're looking at what 30 some odd years ago." And
Hmm.
I said to the doctor, I said, "I'm not sleeping at night. I have insomnia. I can't take this anymore. I never sleep." He said, "Well, how much caffeine do you drink a day?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "I drink coffee all day." He said, "Well, you go 6 months without drinking coffee and you come back and see me." Well, for 6 months, Jen, all I did was get up in the morning, eat, go to work, eat, come home and go back to bed because I could not stay awake. But I was eating like crap then too. So maybe that, I mean, I can't say I was eating poorly. I just wasn't eating healthy either. So maybe that's why, I don't
Yeah.
recall having any headaches back then either.
Hmm.
But I do recall not being able to stay awake. If I wasn't moving, I was sleeping.
Yeah.
And that went on for 6 months. So I was really surprised that see, Monday, first off, when I woke up Monday, we had gone camping and I slept almost the entire ride down to the campground, which is like 3.5 hours. So I probably slept for 2 hours, maybe not the entire thing, but probably 2 hours. And so that's probably why I didn't sleep that night. But it's just I really had thought I was going to be sleepier,
Hmm.
have so I'm kind of thankful that I'm not. And I don't feel stupid either. Like you get like lethargic sometimes and you get where you can't think
Brain fog.
and yeah, brain fog. And even though I have a bit of that anyway, still left over from COVID, I think, and age, whatever, I feel like things come a little bit quicker to me, like words that last week I probably could not have, that word that's always right on the tip of your tongue. Now it actually comes off the tip of my tongue, where it used to sit there, and just
Yeah,
hide, you know.
that's
So,
great.
so I do feel, better that way as well. So,
Well, good. I'm glad. Well, introduce some more gluten tomorrow. Maybe eat a piece of toast or something like
hmm
that.
hmm right.
And just see how you feel, but cut out the flax. And then Wednesday, I'll touch base with you because I'm going to want to know, how things go without the flax for a day.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and then Wednesday and Thursday, just eat cleanse friendly foods again, like how you ate
Okay.
last week. And then Friday and Saturday, if you want to, you can reintroduce dairy. And
Okay.
just to see, it's like a little science project to see how your body responds to it.
I could
Um,
have some actual milk on my steel cut oats, you mean?
yes, if you would like.
Oh, yummy, yummy.
But
Have you guys ever made? Have you guys ever made steel cut oats in the Instapot?
Now, actually, Ginger,
No.
I thought you were going to show me how to use it, or no, you told me to go on to YouTube. I have
Oh
one.
my God, I'll tell you right now. I'll make it easy for you. You take 2 cups oats. I just made it today. 2 cups oats. Hang on,
Oh.
let me find a little cheat sheet here I took with me. 2 cups oats, 5 cups liquid, so water. I used to use yeah, water, just water. 4 minutes on high. 20-minute release, which actually I just left it till it finished, and then you stir it up. It'll have a lot of water on top of it. I actually doubled the batch and made 4 cups steel cut oats, because you can refrigerate it, you can freeze it. So why not make a big batch and be done with it, you know? So I made 4 cups oats, 10 cups water, and I put it on for high pressure for 6 minutes instead. And I am telling you, it is so good. So it has such a nutty, it's just amazing. I love it.
Oh,
You
good.
writing that down?
To try this 4 cup oats and how many?
10 cups water, 6 minutes on high. The recipe they had was 2 cups oats and 5 cups water, but I always double it. So
Yeah, that would last me what? That's about how many servings? It's 8 servings, right?
that's all. No, it's more than that. It's more than that, because you figure you got at least, well, you figure you'll have 10, 12 cups of cereal, because
Oh,
it's 4 cups oats and 10 cups water. So you figure that it absorbs the water, but it's still, that's, roughly 12 cups of food. So you can
Lot.
half it. If you half it, it's only 4 minutes. If you do like 2 cups and 5 cups
right.
water, it's only 4 minutes. I just add a couple of minutes in because I had the volume on there,
Do you
Maybe
add,
this will it off and pull it out.
do you add anything else to your oats?
When I had some vanilla vein salt, I put that in there, but I didn't have any today. I just made it plain without it. You can put a pinch of salt in there if you want to. You can put vanilla, anything you want to in it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I just make it plain and add to it later. But I used to
Oh, okay.
put vanilla salt. I looked for it today. I didn't have any.
Nice. Well, there you go.
So, but it comes out, it's so easy. And then you just stir it up, and you pull the inner pot out and put it on like a hot plate or something so it cools off.
Yeah,
So good.
I have like a small crock pot,
Mm-hmm.
and so I've always just I have an Instapot now, but it's not, I haven't had it that long or used it much. But before that, I would put my steel cut oats in my little mini crock pot.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was one cup of oats and 4 cups of either water or a nut milk, and then I would just cook it on low. I'd add a dollop of molasses,
That sounds good.
which gives you a good dose of iron and sweetens it a little bit, and then
Okay.
cinnamon or whatever, and then I just let it cook overnight, and it's ready in the morning.
Oh, that sounds good too.
So that's,
So are we allowed to have molasses or no?
um
Not now?
no, not while you're cleansing, but after.
Okay. Well, yeah, after.
Very thick. It's a nice way to sweeten. I've been doing the steel oats, but I've been doing the microwave and throwing in a little bit of the date syrup.
Date syrup. Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't put any on there today because surprisingly, with not eating sugar all week, I had enough. And then I think the even though that didn't show any sugars in the coconut cream, I think the coconut cream and the bananas made my um oats sweet enough. And I make a big batch like that because my husband likes it too. But you can freeze it. You can freeze it, and it
You
stays
know
in
how
the
you can
fridge for.
freeze it too? You can freeze it in a muffin pan. I have like a silicone muffin thing,
Okay.
and you
Okay.
can fill the cups with the oatmeal and
Mm-hmm.
freeze it, and then you
Mm-hmm.
just pop them out because the silicone like pops out, and then
Right. Right.
you know put it in whatever to take with you to work, and it defrosts, or just take it out in the morning and set it on the counter. I don't know, but that's a good way of freezing.
That sounds crazy. Well, I have these food freshness cards I have all my food on, so my food lasts a lot longer anyway. My
Yeah.
fruit and
Oh,
vegetables
good.
last a lot longer anyway. But Yeah, so I make a double batch, and the dog, I put a little in it with the dog food, he likes,
Mhm.
he likes it too. So we
Did
all
you,
eat
did
them here.
you, did you take the toxicity quiz at the beginning before you
I
started?
did, but I didn't take it again. I thought we were supposed to take it at the end, but I will. I'll do it again
Yeah.
when I get off the phone tonight or tomorrow morning before I start my day. But I
Awesome.
will tell you, usually when I get up in the morning too, I'll sit up and I usually have like 2.5 healthy sized cups of coffee. I show you my cup, but I don't even have my picture. Um, and this morning I got up and I put the hot pot on for the water for the lemon water. And then I just started the oats right away. And I'm like, wait a second, how am I doing this before and I was groggy, but about halfway through my lemon water, I didn't feel as groggy. I mean, like you get up, you can't even talk, you can't think. People are calling you and you're like trying to form a sentence and it's just not happening. You're trying to, hi, sweetheart. You're trying to text and your fingers are so fat and then your eyes are blurry and you can't read. But I'm like, so I got up and I made my oats right away and I started doing something else. I'm like, wait a second. You're supposed to still be half asleep because you haven't had any coffee. So that surprised me as well.
Yeah.
That I got up and was doing stuff before I you know,
Yeah.
should have felt like I needed to, you know?
Good. That's great.
Did
That
she
was
just burp in your ear?
What's that?
Did she just burp in your ear? Looked like she was
No,
burping.
she wants a dessert and it's too late. It's 7:30 and no. Okay. No, it's too late. No, come on. I'm on a recorded call.
Oh, ouch.
Well, so just keep in mind again that when you're eating like this or when you change, anything in your diet, your taste buds adjust. So,
Correct.
it's like our taste buds get used to the way we feed ourselves, right? We all
Right.
have our routines and our habits and the things that we like or crave or whatever. And so our taste buds get used to that. So when you take things out and add different things in, at first your taste buds are like, what do you like? What is that? What are you doing? I'm not
Right.
familiar. But if you keep doing it, your taste buds adjust and they get used to it and you start to like things that maybe you didn't think that you would like or didn't like before.
I carve pizza bagels.
Ugh, Sophia. Go.
Pizza bagels, Jennifer.
Ugh,
Jennifer.
Jennifer, you feed her pizza. They're what are they? The Annie's.
Yeah,
The Annie's, or I mean, it's still a processed food, yes, but it's
I
the
get it.
Annie's organic pizza bagels. So at least it doesn't have all those extra added chemicals.
Right, right.
Crap.
And yeah, Annie's my friend had her ADD son on, and she ate a lot of that, or they ate a lot of the Annie's food because it was suggested in their diet, and it helped him with his supposedly with his ADD,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's still processed food, but sometimes, you got to do what you got to do.
Sometimes you gotta, yeah, I understand. It's been free cheeseburger week everywhere, and it's like that's hard because I love cheeseburgers.
Oh no.
Yesterday was cheeseburger day or something.
Oh goodness.
But
Well,
there was a big bonus as well. I've got to tell you that got back from camping and I stepped on the scale and I had dropped 6.5 pounds. So that was a bonus. And I think my husband lost more because he was eating right along with me. Now, he had a few things like we had gone out last Sunday and had Tim Martin's for his birthday, and he had leftover prime rib. So he ate that for 2 days. I mean, like little morsels of that in between his salads,
oh,
in between his fruits and nuts. And then he had hot dogs, I think, the other night, some cheddar brats or something. But for the most part, he's been pretty close to eating the same thing I did because he eats what
awesome.
I eat. And for a guy who didn't like herbal tea, he drank my herbal tea and liked it.
That's great. See,
But so I think he lost more than 6 pounds. I'm sorry.
we can adjust,
Yeah,
ourselves
yeah.
and our husbands or whoever.
Well, it was all we had in the camper, so
Yeah, right. I'll take what I can get.
it's fruit and nuts or water, babe. But I still could. We just didn't. We have such a small fridge in the camper. That
Yeah.
was the hard part. I lost a lot of food because stuff I couldn't get in the camper, like
Oh,
or in the fridge. Like I had some carrots that I left on the counter. Those they didn't go bad, but they didn't. Well, actually, they didn't even really taste good. But we had like 2 things of butternut squash, and I left those on the counter and wound up throwing both of those out. I was so damn mad. That's what I forgot today at
Oh,
the
it
store.
sucks.
Darn it.
Uh,
Yeah,
I hate
yeah.
throwing food away.
And everybody's like, "Oh, this," and Lisa had bought the same one too. She says that squash wasn't very good. I said, "Well, it's not very good if it's not lacquered in butter and cinnamon." I said, "Did you try some of that date syrup and cinnamon?" She said, "Oh my God, why didn't I think of that?" I'm like, "I don't know," but I
Oh,
was so eager to try that, and then I ended up throwing it out anyway.
well, and the
It's
great
so
thing is, you know, as you're learning new things, um, you know, you continue to hopefully maybe be inspired to try new things with these new foods to make them taste, you know, whatever is good to you, and experiment with different seasonings and spices. And, you know, if you keep eating this way, or at least somewhat, um, you can just continue with the benefits of it, right? If that's something
right,
that you know choose to do. So the big thing is processed foods. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to make like a vegan or vegetarian out of everybody. Some people need meat. Everybody's different, you know. And I mean, I don't eat a lot of meat. I'm pretty like picky about the meat that I eat, the quality, and I don't eat it that often. I'm mostly like I'm like 80 to 90% plant-based, just whole foods, organic. Um, but some people need meat. So those people that are just like, I'm a meat eater, I gotta have meat, just the quality of the meat, I always say, just be aware of that. But if you're going to give anything up long term, processed foods.
right,
It's really the worst thing for our health is processed foods. So part of this program, and the reason I like to try and keep it as easy as possible, is to show people that you can eat whole foods and still live your life, right? Everybody's
right,
busy, you've got things going on. So what can you do to feed yourself whole, healthy foods and still live your life? You know, like I'm not trying to make like vegan chefs out of everybody. That's a lot of work. um, so as long as you can, you know, learned a few things where you now you know in the morning instead of having a bowl of cereal, eat a banana, an apple, make a smoothie. Smoothies, it takes me a few minutes to make my smoothie, you know? So, and then you can just take it with
especially if you
you.
have stuff if you have stuff ready to go, it helps,
Well, and setting yourself up for success, right? You know
Mhm.
what you
Yeah,
need. Go do your shopping, have yourself prepared, set yourself up for success, have those foods readily available, and then that's what you go to, that's what you eat. Develop those healthier food habits, right?
right,
Because if you want long-term health, you have to develop those lasting habits to make that sustainable. So that's all. But I'm glad you girls had a good experience with the cleanse. I appreciate you being here and for showing up for yourselves and committing yourselves to this program. You did great. Other people did great with it too. So I'm just really proud of everybody. And if it feels comfortable to you, I would appreciate it if you might write up like a little testimonial for me. You can just
oh, put on
um,
Facebook.
well, no, send it to me privately via text, and then I will create a post to put it on social media. And if you're okay with me tagging you in the post and having your name on it, I'll do that too. So just nothing, you know, just something, just describing your experience as long as it was good.
Okay,
With me in the program. The testimonials help just to help me, you know, get to reach more people that might be looking for something like this and, you know, seeking out the service that I provide. I did want to just speak just a few minutes before we get off just about inflammation, right? Because this is all about reducing inflammation in our bodies. So the thing with inflammation is it often sits at the heart of most diseases: heart disease, cancer, depression, Alzheimer's, strokes. Hang on, I've got this thing popping up on my screen. Sorry about that. So it's just something to think about as you move forward from this program. And you're reintroducing things. That's why it's important to reintroduce things, these things one at a time, like just the gluten, right? Because we really want to take notice of how our body reacts to it. Pretty much gluten just isn't good for anybody. I think I've had one in the 2 to 3 years I've been doing this group coaching, I've had one person reintroduce gluten and tell me they had no reaction.
Oh, wow.
But everyone else always has some kind of reaction, because gluten just isn't good for anyone. It is causing, even if you don't feel much or anything, it's still causing inflammation in your body. And sometimes inflammation is good, right? We get a cut or a wound, it becomes inflamed because our body is fighting to heal that wound. It's that chronic inflammation that we want to avoid or reduce or get rid of. All this talk about sleep, again, it's up to you how you want to move forward. But if you decide to continue with incorporating this way of eating into your everyday life, your body will level out. Adding, exercise. I know, Linda, you work out and you run, and as you're feeling better, Ginger, if you're able to add like a little bit more movement as time goes on, that's also going to help you with your sleep. And I would like to hear from you about that. So I want to keep in touch about that, because I want to just see how your sleep patterns kind of level out.
Yeah, I also haven't been working in 180 degrees heat, which makes me pass out anyway. So
Yes,
that might have a little something to do with it too.
yes, I'm familiar.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, and that's another change too, right? That's something
Yep,
else. So
yep.
maybe when you get back to your everyday life, that'll change. But sleep is very important. It's a big culprit of increased inflammation. It's so important. Adults in general need a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. That's what we should be getting. Good sleep, quality sleep. We want to get into that deep, deep REM, right? Unfortunately, in this time of history that we are living right now, we are exposed to so much light. And all of this light, I mean, way back in the day, people they only had daylight, right? I'm talking like before electricity. Farmers and people, you got up with the sun, you went to bed when the sun went down, right? They were only exposed to the sunlight. If they wanted light at night, they had to light some candles, start a fire. Now it's just the flip of a switch. And it's not just that. We've got the TVs, our computers, our phones. We're constantly, what are we doing? What are people doing at night? They've got their TV on, they're laying in bed with the TV on, looking at their phones. So you've got the lights from the TV, you've got the light from the phone. That is messing up your circadian rhythm. It is telling your circadian rhythm that it's still daytime. All the light filtering through your eyeballs. So your circadian rhythm thinks it's earlier in the day and that you should be awake. So it's going to be harder to go to sleep. This is why your nighttime routine is so important to your health and to your quality of sleep. And this in turn affects your morning, right? So that's why we say stop eating by 7, so you can give your digestive system time to break down that food. So your digestive system isn't working hard late into the evening, because that keeps you awake, right? And this is what people do. They eat late at night. Their digestive system is working hard. It affects their sleep. The lights affects your sleep. So you really want to work on that nighttime routine. Finish eating early, power down, sit down with a book, do some reading, just something calming and relaxing that's not stimulating you, so you can get that good quality sleep. And then when you're getting that great 7 to 8 hours a night, when you wake up in the morning with the sun or whenever you wake up, you're going to feel more refreshed. You're going to feel better. You're going to have a better morning. And when you have a great morning routine and you're feeling good, what does that do? That sets you up for the rest of the day, right? And now you're
Yeah.
making better choices for yourself. You're making better food choices, better lifestyle habits. You have more energy throughout the day. You can handle things more appropriately, which means what? Stress. I don't know about you guys, not everybody, but a lot of people, they have a lot of stress in their lives. They don't manage it well. And when you have all of that mental stress, emotional stress, stress from maybe fear for whatever reason, your body is releasing high levels of cortisol. Our bodies can only process so much cortisol. So when you're under constant stress and anxiety, and your body's releasing all this cortisol, we go into shock, and all that cortisol shows up in your midsection, and this is where we get that belly fat from. Okay, so it's just, my point to it is, everything's connected. It's all connected. And when you're eating healthier and drinking enough water and moving your body and making better lifestyle choices and food choices and setting yourself up with that good nighttime routine so you can have a good night's sleep and a better morning, it's just every day gets easier and easier. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that is something that you will take away from this and keep in mind when you're making your food choices and your lifestyle choices. And if stress is coming at you, which we all have stress, right? Every day, things come up. Practice your breathing, like we talked about before. Use that breathing technique. Pause. If you're faced with a stressful situation, don't react. Just pause, take a few deep breaths, and just think about how you want to respond to this stressful situation, whatever that may be, if that makes sense. So, because you don't want to get your blood pressure up, and it just screws you up for the whole day. And these things don't, these changes, whatever they may look like for you, it's not going to happen overnight. Habits are slowly developed over time. Bad habits, all of our bad habits that we have slowly developed over the course of our lives, right? They didn't just happen overnight. We've been working on these things hard for a long time. Well, when we want to make some changes and develop better habits, those are going to take time too. So just be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself. It's not about being perfect, but show up for yourself every day. Do the best that you can. Make good choices. If you fall off, just get back up again, right? And keep pushing forward, and just think about the quality sleep, keeping the inflammation down, how food affects us. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that.
So what is next week, Av? I mean, if we're doing wheat and dairy this week, are we introducing something else next week, say meat or?
So this is week 3, right? That is up to you. It's up to you how you want to move forward from this. So
Oh, this is the end? I was thinking that, okay, I was off a week. I was thinking last week was actually the first week.
well, week 1 was prep week.
Right.
And then last week was the actual cleanse. This week
Okay.
we're starting the reintroduction process.
Okay.
And then Sunday that's 21 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it started, I was counting the 21 days from when I actually started the
cleanse.
thing. Yeah.
So prep week was part of it. Prep week is important. So that's part of the 21 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
after you reintroduce the dairy and then get through Sunday and see how you feel with that, come Monday, it's up to you. Maybe you want to try and eat some meat on Monday and see how your body reacts to it. you know?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Does that-
see, I see.
Does that answer
This
your
is
question?
this is our last call.
Oh, I mean, we can still talk, Ginger. I'm here, I'm still here for you. And you can keep going with it. You don't have to stop. You have all the information. I leave the Facebook group open, so you can always refer back to that. Or if you need
Okay.
to reprint something, or you just want to go back and look something up, I don't close those groups. That's, you paid for that, all that info is there. And we're still going.
Okay.
So if you have anything pops up with you this week, let me know. I do want to keep in touch with both
Definitely.
of you girls just about how the next couple days go with your movements, and make sure
Okay.
things are flowing, because that's important. We don't want to be backed up. So I want to make sure that that's going okay for you. So we'll stay in touch.
Oh, I'm not backed up.
Oh, that's good.
Not at all.
Just you just feel a little bloated and gassy.
Well, it's like every time I eat now, it's like, which I know that's supposed to be healthy, is that now every time I eat, I feel like I've got to go to the bathroom, and it doesn't happen right away sometimes, but sometimes it does, and it won't be a lot, obviously,
Mhm.
but it's like I don't like the feeling of walking around like I got to poop all the time, you know?
Yeah, well, I understand, but again, just be patient with the process, and your body's adjusting, and just
Right.
stick with it. Don't give up.
Oh no, definitely. Oh, I wasn't going to. It's not, deterring me. It's just a feeling that I would be happier without,
Yeah, I understand.
be
Have you
nicer
tried
without.
doing the shot of apple cider vinegar?
No, I haven't.
Do you have?
And you said a shot of that with water or just a shot of it?
So it's up to you. When I have had severe gas pain, I will just do like a 2-ounce shot of straight apple cider vinegar. And usually within somewhere around 10 minutes, I'll feel a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And you
but
said if you don't end with a half hour, 15 minutes, a half hour, do another one, right?
yeah.
It's not painful.
Mhm.
It's just annoying. It's like, I just feel bloated,
Well,
and
then
I don't
maybe
like
just put a tablespoon or into an 8-ounce glass of water, and drink that
I'd rather
down.
just shoot it straight if that's the
Okay.
case.
Yeah, and then
Because I don't want to linger that. I tried to do that water and apple cider vinegar in the morning thing routine for a while. I couldn't
okay.
stomach.
You don't want to drink too much of it straight, because it is harsh. That's just
Right.
a quick fix every once in a while. That's not something you want to do all the time. And then just make sure you rinse your mouth out with water, because you don't want that sitting on your teeth.
Right. I get it.
It'll eat away at your enamel.
Yeah, I thought the lemon water did too. I brush my teeth every morning after that too, because that's no acid too.
Yeah, that can be. Yeah, I always like rinse with water. I just drink water after.
Mhm.
So, all right. Well, do you guys have any other questions or anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good, but thank you.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Thank you. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, Linda. I'll still be sharing stuff in our Facebook group this week, just information and helpful tips and things like that. That'll hopefully help support you as you move on from this. Okay. Oh, I'm also
Sounds-
going to be.
You were gonna text me something. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh,
You were
what
gonna
was
text me
I?
a recipe. I
What
don't know
was
a
I
recipe, but I don't
text
remember
you?
what it was. I don't remember.
Well, there was the veggie burger recipe. I sent you
I
that.
think I found that. Yeah, I found that.
And what was I supposed to send you? I'll go look at our texts again.
I don't know if
If it's
I don't know if yeah, I don't know if it was in the text or not.
Oh, okay. Well, if you
If I-
remember, let me know. And if I
let me know, yeah.
remember, huh?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if I remember, I'll let you know. I think it was something that was on Facebook I couldn't find. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll try and remember. I'm also going to be inviting everyone to I have a private wellness group. It's another private Facebook group for all my past and present clients. So it's just a community that I have developed wellness driven people so we can stay connected and share information and, you know, whatever it is we're doing in our lives that pertain to our health and wellness, and just a way to stay connected with like-minded people. So look for a Facebook invite to my Fuel for the Soul wellness community. I would love to
Okay.
have you in there. Okay.
Thank you for that too.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, girls. Have a great night and we'll talk soon.
You
Thank
do the
you.
same. Thanks,
Okay.
Jen. Bye, Linda.
High school teacher.
Bye.
Bye.